Hi, second graders and second grade parents. It's Miss Stephanie, and I'm here for week number 2 of our self-regulation group. And today we are talking about calm down strategies. Last week we touched on the colors and what the colors meant. Green is where we want to be, right? Red is very upset, very angry. This is probably the highest emotional level that we can feel. Yellow is nervous and like you got the butterflies in your stomach, you're anxious for whatever reason. Also, maybe you can't sit still, you can't focus. Those are yellows. And then blue is sad, upset, just very down. And then green, obviously, like I said, is where we want to be. We want to get all those colors back to green. So I am currently doing one of those calm down strategies that we're going to talk about today. Does anyone know what it is? That's right, I am outside in my driveway in the bed of my truck. So with this whole quarantine thing, it's hard to get outside and it's hard to get fresh air, but I am doing it just from my own driveway. And I am trying to block the wind from the microphone, so hopefully the sound isn't too bad. But I think I was feeling down. I was feeling a little bit blue. And so I am doing a calm down strategy for that, which is to get fresh air. And you'll see as I talk about those blue strategies, you'll see that getting fresh air is one of those. So I'm taking advantage of that, and it is a beautiful day, and the sun is shining, and it feels fantastic. So we already have reviewed what the colors were, so let's just get right into the strategies. I was supposed to be doing a scavenger hunt with the kiddos today. This week we would have, for part of the activity, I have all of these. They're all the different colors, and they're all strategies per color. And I laminated these and cut them out and put them on cardstock. And they would have been hidden around the library, and I would have paired up the kids or put them into groups, small groups, and assigned them each a color. And they would have had to go around the library and look for all of them. And then they would have come back, and they would have shared all of these as a group to the other kids, and how that would help them if they were feeling that color. But since we can't do that, I am just going to be talking about them. If you want to do the scavenger hunt, go ahead. You can pause the video, print out the things, or you can just write them down. If you want to watch the video ahead of time, write them down for the kids. They can go around the house and look for them. That might be a fun activity to keep them busy for 15 minutes. And I do apologize for not getting up the worksheets on time. Even when this is posted, they might not be up there just because I have a scanner that I was going to use to upload everything, but I did not have the power cord or the cord to attach to the computer for some reason. So I ordered more on Amazon. They're coming. I have one, but not the other yet. So I will get all of those up, and I will backtrack as I go. So hopefully they come soon, and you guys can print all those out. Like I said, you can also just write them down on a piece of paper in colored marker or crayon, whatever, and hide them around for the kids to find, and then they can talk to you about those strategies. So I will just be talking a little bit about them. I will go pretty quickly. So if you are red, very upset, very angry, these are some strategies that you can do. Remember, if you're red, usually you'll go down to yellow, and then you'll go to green after that. So if you're red, you're not going to go straight from red to green. So these might be some strategies to get you down to yellow. Taking deep breaths. This is usually what I start with for the kids. When they are in my office and they are very upset, I just have them stop everything, take some deep breaths. Usually it'll be like a count of 5. It'll be in for 5, hold for 3, and then I'll have them breathe out their mouth for 2. Sorry, there's a loud car coming by. Okay. And then I'll have them breathe out through their mouth very slowly. So it'll be in through their nose, hold for 3, and then out through their mouth. So if you want to try that with them, go for it. And then I will have them repeat that process until I can physically see that their body is more calm. Go on a walk or a run. That's kind of what I'm doing now, just getting outside. You can also do laps around your house if it's too cold to go outside or there's too much snow. So going on a walk. Movement is usually the biggest thing for calming down. Any kind of movement that you can do is going to help release those feelings. Going to a calm down corner. I suggest creating a calm down corner, parents, if you don't have one currently. A lot of parents will use the bedrooms, which is fine, but I have noticed that if you use a bedroom for punishment for any reason, you say go to your room or anything like that, they could associate then this with punishment, And we don't want that. We want this to be a positive interaction for them to understand and calm themselves down without the notion of being punished in any way. So I would suggest creating a calm down corner somewhere in your house that's not their bedroom, maybe a special space in their bedroom, that could work. You can put special pillows in there, blankets, special lights, twinkle lights, something like that. Make it really special, a place that they want to go to calm down. Would make it a lot better than just saying go to your room and calm down, because they're going to associate that with the punishment. So that's some advice for that. Listening to relaxing music. This can be anything from spa music with waterfalls and animal noises that you can find on YouTube and iTunes. But it doesn't have to be. This could be anything that your kid uses to calm down, but I wouldn't use anything upbeat. That's going to just make them crazy and excited, and it's going to be really hard to focus. So using something relaxing, maybe something without words, kind of like a Mozart or some kind of acoustic version of any of the songs, those could be very helpful. Talking to an adult. So this could be any adult that you have access to, but sometimes talking about these deep feelings. I mean, that's what we do in my office all the time. We talk about why we're feeling this way, what we can do to change it. So those kinds of things would be great to talk to an adult about. Seeking out that help. Now we're going to go jump into yellow. So if we are feeling yellow, what can we do to get back to green? Remember, maybe we just were at red and now we're at yellow. What kinds of things can we do to get back to green? Taking deep breaths again, continuing those deep breaths. This is also, maybe you were never in red, right? Maybe we just got to yellow. Taking those deep breaths is still going to help, okay? We went through that. Ask for a break, definitely. Especially if you feel like you're on the verge of getting too red. Ask for a break first before you get to that point. It's very important that you start to recognize what's happening in your own body and starting to recognize when you are getting an approaching red, because we don't want to get there. We don't want to do that. It's not fun for you. It's not fun for us. We don't want to get there. So recognizing what your body feels like and just taking that break. Remember, 2 to 5 minutes to do any of these strategies. It's going to help. Using a fidget toy. I have fidget toys in my office that I use with these kids all the time. If you need a link or anything, you want to purchase them, they're on Amazon. You can search them. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you could also buy and have at home. But if you don't want to buy anything, you could also use a stuffed animal, a blanket, anything that feels really cool, that has some kind of tactile feeling to it. Usually that will help pull them out of their feelings and into their senses, and will kind of help them focus on that instead. Anything like fidget spinners, obviously, fidget toy, anything that they can do to just kind of manipulate with their hands while they're doing their work or while they're processing these emotions will help with that. And then going for a walk. So getting outside, going for a walk, walking around your house, like I said with red, that's another good situation to do. And then another thing I like to do with my kids, whether they are yellow or blue, I usually don't do this in red. I wait until they get to yellow or blue to do this, but I'll teach it to you guys anyway. I have them hold up 4 fingers, and we walk through our senses together. So I will tell them, okay, tell me 4 things that you can currently see right now. And they'll tell me 4 things that they can see. They'll look around. And I'll say, okay, tell me 3 things that you can hear. Or no, I'm sorry, 3 things that you can touch. Tell me 3 things that you can touch, and they'll look around and they'll tell me all the things that they can touch. Usually going around, they're touching everything. And then 2 things that they can hear. So this can be anything. They gotta be really quiet for a second so that they can hear. And then 1 is something that they can smell. So 1 thing that they can smell. And then obviously there's 5 senses, but I joke around with the kids and I say, please don't lick anything in my office. If you're at home, you have popsicles or cookies or anything that you want to talk about with like tasting, you're more than welcome to add that in there. But I don't, just because I don't have anything in my office that they can eat or lick. But those are the 4 senses. Anything that's going to take them out of their own head with their emotions and bring them back down into their body is going to help with that. So let's talk about blue. Listening to upbeat music, because remember, blue is we're really sad and we're really upset, and so listening to music will help. Upbeat music will help you get excited and back into that green mood. Listening to relaxing music like we did for yellow is probably going to have the opposite effect. It's probably going to bring us more down into that blue feeling. So we just want to make sure that we're listening to something more upbeat. Stretching, like I talked about before, movement. A lot of times our negative feelings and things can like actually sit in our muscles, and so stretching can actually help release those negative feelings. So stretching can be something that's really good. Yoga is fantastic. There's a lot of yoga things and kids yoga on YouTube that you could look up, so that'll help a lot as well. Taking a break, again, making sure you're asking for that break. Going for a walk or a jog, this is kind of like what we've already talked about before. So if you want to go outside, walk around your house. Sorry, there's another car coming. Okay, and then the last one is getting fresh air. We've already talked about that because that's what I'm doing, so I won't talk about that too much. There are some strategies here to keep us in green. Staying in green is going to be the most important thing. Obviously, you're going to come out of green sometimes, and that's okay. But staying in green is going to be the most important part. So if you feel yourself maybe creeping into one of those others, go ahead and try one of these. Solving a brain teaser. You can find puzzles and things online everywhere. Solve a brain teaser or a riddle. Focus on my strengths. This one I love. Make a list of things that you're good at, especially because I feel like a lot of these feelings for these kids is coming up because they're frustrated with something from school or something they don't understand. And so making a list, stopping what they're doing, making a list, talking about things that they're good at is going to raise their confidence, and it's going to allow them to be like, you know what, I wasn't good at those things before. I worked at it and I practiced, so I'm going to practice at this, and then I'll also strengthen their growth mindset as well. Doing a puzzle, that's just something to help distract yourself. Again, those 2 to 5 minute breaks in between to get yourself back to green or to stay in green before you get up to yellow. Reading a book. This is another good distractor and will help you a lot with just staying in green and being able to focus on your schoolwork and stuff. So reading a book is another good one to keep you in green. There's one other activity that I will be posting online once I get those things on there. You can also make this yourself. If you just have regular paper at home, it is a cootie catcher. I think most of the parents will probably know this more than the kids will. It's this little origami piece. It looks like this when it's all done, and you put your fingers in there and you can move it around, and you choose the color and you spell the color out, and then you do the numbers and you move it around, and then in the middle has all these questions for discussion. So I will put these up. You guys can make a cootie catcher and put the questions in there if you want, or you can just ask the questions to your kids and have that discussion however you want to do it. If you're starting from scratch and you don't want to print this out, just make sure that your paper is a square. You can actually fold in this corner like this, and then rip off this extra space down here at the bottom, and you'll have a square to start from. The instructions will also eventually be up, but you can also look up videos on how to make a cootie catcher online or on YouTube to watch, so they can make that if they want to. So that'll be there. And then the last thing is your journal reflection. I'll have a space online for you guys to do this. Your journal reflection questions for number 2 are, have you tried using calm down strategies before, and did it work? And then why or why not? And maybe telling me which calm down strategy you're referring to and which one worked and which one didn't, and just kind of letting me know why. And then down here at the bottom, the color I'm feeling right now is. And parents, remember I told you that it's important to be working on these when your kids are in that green zone, just because I want this to be a fun experience for them, and they need to be calm to learn these strategies before they can actually apply them or use them when they are upset. So I think that's it. Parents, if you have any questions or comments for me, there's a parent parking lot in our group. You can write them there. You can email me if you need more examples, you need other strategies to use because these ones aren't working. Just reach out to me, let me know what you need, and I will be more than happy to help you out. Thank you guys so much. I hope to see you real soon.